3.
Can you count, suckers? I said, can you count? Because if you counted the Knicks out, you can't count. You just tuned in to Mike on the Mic, New York Knicks post-game comments from a fan's perspective. And this segment is for all you haters out there, all you suckers who counted the Knicks for dead, gave up on the team. So since you went to sleep on the Knicks, here's a wake-up call. It all started 2 weeks ago when the Knicks' record was only 3-8. And within that stretch, they had lost 6 games in a row. Now, back in the days, the Marbury Knicks or the Duhon Knicks, they would have threw in the towel. Instead, Amari Stoudemire didn't throw in the towel. He threw a tantrum. He started throwing things around. He started questioning the heart, talent, and the work ethics of his teammates. And as a result, the Knicks now have won 10 games out of their last 11. Something they haven't done since December 2000 to January 2001 season, practically 10 years ago. Also, their overall record is now 12-9 from 3-8. They are now 4 games over 500. Their road record is 9-4. It's the best in the NBA. They just finished winning 7 straight games on the road. Their home record went from 2-5 to 4-5. 1 game under 500, which they can straighten out tomorrow night when they play the Raptors at the Garden. We can make it 500 at home. And the Knicks have won 5 games in a row. They're on a 5-game winning streak, beating the Pistons, and they played like kings at the Palace, beating the Nets, showing the Nets who's the better team in the metropolitan area, beating the Hornets, which out of all the 5 teams was a better team because they're one of the more higher echelon teams in the NBA. And at the time, their record at home was 7-1, but we broke that there, and now they got 2 home losses, their second one coming from us. The Raptors, we own them. We played them in preseason in Paris, and we played them twice already this year, beating them, and we can play them again tomorrow. And the Timberwolves, we owed them. They beat us the last time when Kevin Love grabbed 31 rebounds to go with his 31 points. Winning is contagious, and it's spreading throughout the whole team. Everybody is contributing. The Knicks are showing a complete team effort when they play. But there's 2 standouts, though, that I have to mention. Amari Stoudemire and Sugar Ray Felton. In the 5 games, the 5-game win streak, Stat has been building up his stat. He has scored 30-plus points in the last 5 games. He is leading the NBA in scoring. His average is 33.3 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 58.8% is what he is shooting from the field. If he continues to play like this, he is really building himself a hell of a case to be the MVP this year. And also, in addition to that, he just won consecutive Player of the Week awards. Stat is all that. Felton, Sugar Ray Felton, is playing like an all-star. Him and Amari are gelling. He's really starting to get the feel of Mike D'Antoni's system. When they played New Orleans in New Orleans, he kind of outshined Paul. Paul has razzle and dazzle and is probably the best point guard in the league. But he has something, Felton has something that he doesn't have, and that's an accurate 3-point shot. See, Chris Paul don't have that. So, and that's important to have because when you punch the ball into the low post and they get double teamed down there and they punch it back out to you, in Paul's case, he would either try to punch it back into the low post, pass it to another one of his teammates on the perimeter, or he'll drive. Whereas when the ball comes out to Felton, he's going to pull up and take that shot. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to hit it. Felton's game has really improved. at the end of the quarters, and he has a knack for this, of getting the last basket so that the Knicks can go into the next quarter with the momentum. The reason why he's being more magnified now is because you have to keep in mind that Sugar Ray Felton used to play for the Charlotte Bobcats. He was handcuffed by Larry Brown, who handcuffed Chauncey Billups in Detroit. He handcuffed Allen Iverson in Philly. He handcuffed Stephon Marbury in New York. And he did it to Sugar Ray Felton in Charlotte. But now that the handcuffs is off and he has the green light to do his thing under D'Antoni's system, he is flourishing. All right, he's on the big stage. Everybody's taking notice of Felton, that he plays defense. He has a pretty accurate shot from the three-point line. And he's really running our team. He's really orchestrating our team. And on that note, I have to give props to D'Antoni. Yeah, I know I was one of them that was asking for his head, saying I'm only going to give him maybe one more year when he gets that second complimentary player to go with Amari. And if he mess up then, just like Martin say, he's going to have to get the stepping. Yeah, I was feeling like that. But how do you rate coaches? The same way you rate point guards, by wins and losses. The man just now finished having his team win 10 games out of 11. They are 4 games over 500. Their record is 12-9, 13-9. His point guard is doing his thing. His point guard is on the court shining, and he's on the sideline shining because the team is shining. That's how you judge the coach. The coach is really making a case for himself right now for Coach of the Year. That's right, Coach of the Year, Mike D'Antoni, New York Knicks coach. I have to give props to him. I'm going to take a phrase from Hall of Famer and former Knick Walt Clyde Frazier and say, kudos to you, Mike D'Antoni, for a job well done. Now, we're not going to give just all the credit to Amari Stoudemire and the Felton. The defense is one of the main reasons for the Knicks' recent surge, because they're playing pressure the basketball defense. And as a result, it's causing turnovers. They're stealing the ball. And down, they're also blocking the ball. It's causing fast breaks. And they look pretty with the fast break because that's all a part of D'Antoni's system. They hustling. They rebounding. They making an extra pass on offense. They looking real good. But the defense is really superb right now. It's really superb. And when the Knicks keep on winning like this, then they're going to really get a higher roar at the Garden. See, they got a taste of the Lions' roar at the Garden when they beat the Nets 111-100. Amari Stoudemire, he got a standing ovation when he left the court with 2 minutes left to regulation. And Sugar Ray Felton, he got a standing ovation with under a minute left when he left the court with Wilson Chandler. See, and all this is based on the fact that they are winning. When the Knicks win, they provide what I call home court security. That is when the Knicks, they provide a security blanket for their fans. In other words, the fans become secure and safe and spending for expensive tickets to fill up the Garden. We also become secure and safe and buy anything of Knick that's Knick-like. Knick hats, Knick jerseys, Knick cups, towels, whatever it may be. We feel safe in buying these things so that we can represent the team that's representing our city, New York. This is the security blanket. The security blanket, the home court security blanket, is what leads to home court advantage. The more they win at the Garden, the louder the crowd becomes. That crowd is the Lions' roar. And the crowd becomes loud because the Knicks win. And when the Knicks win, they provide home court security. And in turn, they become rewarded with home court advantage. The Knicks now are playing the Raptors tomorrow at the Garden. And before closing, I'd just like to say, I'd like to give a special shout out, season greeting shout out, to all those who tune in to Mike and Mike and wish you and your loved ones happy holidays. You've been watching Mike on the Mic, New York Knicks post-game comments from a fan's perspective. And as always, in closing, I like to say peace, love, and basketball.